Welcome to another edition of the BFNL Netball Show. My name's Yeendy. Always excited to be with you. I'm here with Kim Bailey, the netball guru. Thanks for joining us for another week.
Yeah, it's been a big weekend in netball, and it's great to be back. And had some great results over the weekend. Yeah,
exactly. And before we talk about probably some of the biggest news in the competition this year, let's just have a little bit of a touch on what's happened last week. Last Sunday we saw a big game between the Sunbury Lions and Sebas. It was the battle between the two undefeated sides. How did this one play out?
Yeah, most probably to some people's surprise, the margin was pretty big, and I'm not saying that I'm surprised at the win, but I'm actually I'm surprised at the margin, with Sunbury winning 69 to Sebas 29, so a 40-goal margin. So, I sort of knew Sunbury was the team to beat, but the margin was extraordinary, I think, as what everybody said. Sebas didn't have Georgia Kang because she's had a bout of pneumonia, so she was out. But Georgia's good, but I don't know if she can make up 40 goals. But Chloe Curran shot, I think, 59 goals out of those 69. So I think Sunbury has really stamped their authority on the season and said, yep, we've got one hand on the cup. Someone's got to wrench it off us, and they've sent a message. Sebas would be disappointed in that because they thought they'd be a little bit closer, but yeah, Sunbury are really the team to beat.
I think Sebas will improve dramatically after this. I know it's their first loss of the season, but they know where the benchmark's at, and they didn't have the performance they were happy with. Now they can work on that and go, well, this is where we have to go if we want to face them come that one day in September. Yeah,
good teams make you play poorly sometimes as well, though, and Sunbury's strength is all over the court. Tara Munro had another great game, and as we said, Chloe Curran is, she's that big target, it's just too hard to stop. But, as I said, they played to the standard they were allowed to play. Nikki Allen and Kalia Dix has been playing really well as well for Sebas. But, yeah, they were just blown out of the water on this day in particular, but they'll bounce back for sure.
Something certainly they can work on as the year goes on. Another big game, Lake Windaree and North Ballarat City. We saw another shootout there, 110 goals between the two sides, but Lake Windaree 58 to 52, 6-goal winners. Yeah,
a bit of an upset, really. I didn't expect this, to tell you the truth, but I was speaking to some girls from Lakers, and they're absolutely ecstatic, and they played a great game. And Chrissy James and Sarah Hepburn together made a really good combination, really strong. And they just they dominated all over the court. Lakers were without Ali Brewer, I think, as well, so they had a couple down. Jetta Hurd played really well. I think she shot 49 of their goals, of the 52 goals, and Laura McDonald only shooting 3. So you need a goaler, although Laura played well, but you just need that goal attack to help out the shooter. But yeah, really close game, and I thought Lakers might have been waning a bit, but they've said no, we're still here. So yeah, that sort of really evens the competition up, Chris. I'm a little bit confused. We see Sunbury sitting at the top of the table, but where it could go from there, I think we could just chuck all the names up in a hat and see what happens at the moment.
Well, the win from North Ballarat City there would have catapulted them into the top 4. They would have been, depending on percentage, they could have gone as high as second. So that makes a big difference at the end of the day too, as the teams start to jostle, probably for the bottom 5 positions in the top 6.
And you've got ones like Lakers, Redan, who are just sort of sneaking under the radar, had a comfortable win over Bacchus as well. Got Erin Riley back in the team, and Ruby Parry playing really well as well. So, they're just sneaking along, and, Mountain South had a really tough game against Ballarat, but they got 4 goals winners over them, and Cullen Moran was back again, which is great to see for Ballarat. But, Bet Corwell dominated again. So any one of those teams could potentially be in the grand final, so it's really exciting.
And Mountain South would have gone into that game against Ballarat probably red-hot favourites, because Ballarat are sort of sitting in the bottom half of the ladder. And
I don't think so. I thought it'd be a really even game, because once you put Kelly Moran back in that, and I'm not sure if you've seen how tall Kelly is, but
not yet.
She's a really tall player, really good target, and teams really well. With any goalie virtually put with her. So Hayley Fiddler was on there for a while with her as well. So, and they've played together. So this game could have gone either way, but I just think it's a credit to Mountain South with how they've developed their young kids, and having that tall target with Bet Corwell's there, and they didn't have Lex Climbers playing either. So, good game. But yeah, as I said, this could go anywhere this season. It's
exciting to see, which is great for the competition.
Fantastic, it is. It's great.
It's been a long time since we had a season like that. Now, one of the biggest news of the season, and we spoke about it in last week's show, but the juniors What a performance over the weekend. I think everyone's talking about this. It's one of a significant moment in the competition at senior and junior level in the BFNL.
Yeah, I feel like I've been around the world in 80 days, in 2 days really. We've head down to Warrnambool. Most of us went down on Saturday night to the Western Association Champs, and what a result. Our under-13s went through undefeated. Really no one challenged them for the whole day, and they walked away with being the Western Association Championship winners. And then our under-15s, again, I think they didn't lose a game. They had a draw against the BNA. And just on that game against the Ballarat Netball Association, we still had some of those girls that play in BNA that play in the BFNL as well. So, considering the amount of girls that played that day, that all play footy netball, that was amazing. But they had a draw, and then they beat them in the semi, and then we went on and won the granny. So that was fantastic. And the heartbreaking day is for the 17s. They played great netball. They lost the first game where they played against Western Border. They come up against them in the semis, unfortunately. Didn't lose a game after that. Come up against them in the semis. Went to overtime. And then they lost by 3 in the end. And Western Border went on to, I think, win by 9 or 10 in the grand final. So if we had gone over them, we would have won, which is disappointing. So those girls were disappointed. But the flip side, we all headed back to Geelong on Monday, and the 17s were amazing, and they won, I think, by 9 goals in the end, the Bowen Junior Champs, and over the Colac District Netball Association, and they were just awesome. I was sitting on the bench, voice is gone. It was just amazing. They played such good netball for being tired, and yeah, it was really great to see. We've got so much talent there. And Mel Freeman from Darley ended up winning the BNF for the whole competition. So that was really exciting to see.
What a difference a day can make in netball.
Yeah. They're running high, and I think they've got so much talent, that team. Unfortunately, our 15s, they went down to Geelong Footy Netball League by 10 goals. They actually looked a little bit tired, those girls, and they give themselves 100%. They give themselves 100% all the time. They throw their body at the ball. Had a couple of girls out that didn't play down at Barwins, so they had lesser numbers to run through their bench, but they were disappointed to lose that, but they won it last year and they'll bounce back next year. And then the 13s, wow. Whew. The 13s, they won against Geelong as well. I was a little bit late, and I walked in just about a couple of minutes before the end of the first quarter, and I looked up at the scoreboard, and Kat Bailey was there. I said, "Is that our score?" It was something like 19-5 in the first quarter. They just
blew them off the court,
blew them out the water, and they didn't look back, and I think it was around a 15, 18 goal win in the end. So quick congratulations to Talia Holloway-Roden, Georgia Can, Prue Douglas, Kelly Amor and Deb Hutchison, all our coaches, have doing an absolutely fantastic job with these girls. And yeah, how good is our junior netball? Oh,
it's a great sign going forward, and definitely something the seniors could be very happy with as well, looking at some of these younger girls coming through. Who knows, they might end up losing them to high grade netball in the future.
Well, they will, because there's a couple already. I think Remy Hooper's played for North. I know I think Maddie Salmon's playing A grade for North this week. Melanie Freeman's definitely playing for Darley A grade, and some of these girls are just amazing talent. So, we're seeing them filtered through already, and I'm sure the other kids will move up, and they'll be our A grade competition in the years to come.
Speaking of talent that's come through this week, we've got a very popular segment, the Stocklands Player of the Week. Who has stepped up and taken the top honours this week?
Yeah, well, this, as I said, there was a bit of a surprise. I think it was an upset. I didn't expect to happen, but Lakers just got over North, which is a real surprise. But one of the catalysts in that game was Chrissy James, who's been a great player for Lakers. She just come out in support with Sarah Hepburn, and they just killed it on the weekend, and dominated that attacking circle. So yeah, congratulations, Chrissy. You'll get your $25 Stockland Windaree voucher out to you very soon.
And she'll love spending that too.
My host, she will.
Now let's look ahead to some of the big games this weekend. Of course, long weekend too, so most people will get to enjoy the Monday off. But Saturday is business as usual. We start with North Ballarat City versus Bacchus Marsh. This shapes up as being a very interesting game on paper.
Yeah, I think so. But North have lost 2 in a row, I think, now, and there's no way I think they will lose 3 in a row. I think it'll be a bit of a change in the guard if they do. Bacchus have been playing some really good netball lately, even though they've had a loss last week. But if Laura McDonald can start hitting the shots if she plays there, I'm not sure how long Sasha McDonald is away. Not too far, I think. I think they'll bounce back and get the win this week.
I'm going to go and jump on the Bacchus Marsh bandwagon. I'm sort of going that way because as a result of another game that we'll discuss in a few moments' time.
Rightio.
But if Bacchus Marsh get up and another team get up, then we will have 5 teams on 16 points, and that's going from 4th down to 7th or however it works. So 5th or 5th or 8th or whatever it is. So that'll be just phenomenal for the competition. So I'm going to go on Bacchus Marsh's bandwagon. They've been in positive touch. They'll look to bounce back from the loss Redan. And
all right, okay, good with the split.
Darley versus Lake Windaree. This was the other one where I'm sort of hoping that we'll sort of get the 5 teams on 16 points factor coming in.
Yeah, look, Darley played a good game. At least they lost that, I think, by 18, but they were in it. Amy Gianni's been playing really well, and Tony Lopes played a really good game on the weekend as well. But, Lakers are in some good form, and if Ali Brewer comes back this week, that'll just strengthen them up again. Darley, a little bit of inaccurate in the goaling circle. I think that's affected them a little bit, so I'm just going to have to go with Lakers. Yep,
I'll be jumping on Lakers bandwagon too on that one there. Another big game, we've got Mountain South versus East Point. How's this one going to play out, Kim?
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look at this game. It could go either way, to tell you the truth. And I've changed my mind a couple of times. I thought, home ground advantage, Mountain South, and then Lauren Dew's been out, but she's back in. But Emma Farrell had a great game on the weekend, and she's back in form. Which way do I go? Deep breaths. I don't know if they've got the defence to stop Beck Hall.
She's been in good form as of late, and
she's just a magic player.
And South have been scoring in excess of 50 goals plus in recent weeks to keep that form going. So.
Yeah, and she's doing the majority of the work as well. It's a big game for South. I think if they can get over this one, I think it really sort of stamps them as contenders. You know what? I'm going to make you go first.
I'm going to go on South for the very reason that, using the stat before, 4th to 8th will be on the same points at the end of the round, if my tips go accordingly.
Oh, gee whiz. Can I go a draw? I truly don't know which way this is going to go. I don't know. I'm going to go for East just to be the point of difference from you. But I wouldn't be surprised if South wins. So I know I'm having, bet each way, but yeah, I just think it's going to be really, really close. Long weekend, we could have some players away. You never know, and that might make a difference. But I'll soon see when I arrive on Saturday and have a look at the game.
Should be a cracker. Sebas versus Melton.
Yeah, Melton are in a bit of a rebuild at the moment. I think they'd be disappointed with where their season's going. Sebas, they did have a bad game on the weekend, but they're a very good team and they'll bounce back and get a comfortable victory.
No arguments there. And we turn our attention to the other game, Redan versus Sunbury Lions.
Well, yes. Well, look, this will be a really good game. And again, depends who's available on this weekend, though. I don't think Sunbury will have this game all their own way, to tell you the truth. Ruby Parry's been in great form for Redan. Erin Riley's back playing after injuring that finger, so she'll match up really, really well on Chloe Curran. Now, did she play her last week? Sovereigns played Saints. I think she might have had a quarter on her or so. I'm not quite sure. This will be a much closer game than we think, and Cassie Peace has been playing well, but the Sunbury lineup, as we've already discussed, has been awesome.
Very versatile as well.
Yeah, they are. But again, I think Redan will get really close. I don't think they'll beat Sunbury, but I think that'll be a closer game than what we think.
Yeah, and probably the challenge that the Lions need as well after last week.
Lions playing Lions, yep.
Yep, that'll be a good, just pick a mascot there to win.
Lions will win, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. No one will be disappointed there. Well, I'm going to jump on the Sunbury Lions bandwagon as well. That's all we've got time for on this week's edition of the BFNL Netball Show. We hope everyone has a safe long weekend to get a chance to go away. Kim, thanks so much for joining us.